NASA's Commercial Crew Program continued to deliver on its mission throughout 2023 to safely transport astronauts to and from the International Space Station. Working closely with industry partners Boeing and SpaceX to fly unique, human-rated systems, Commercial Crew successfully maintained a steady state of operations and certification work, leading up to a historic test flight in 2024 and exciting crew rotations to come. In January,
and you really serve as a real example of the power of the ambition and the aspirations of our nation.
Former NASA astronauts Robert Behnken and Douglas Hurley, the first Commercial Crew astronauts to fly to the International Space Station on NASA's SpaceX Demonstration Mission 2, were awarded the Congressional Space Medal of Honor. February saw astronauts Wilmore, Williams, and Fink participate in the Crew Equipment Interface Test. The crew trained with the tools, equipment, and hardware they will use on orbit. They also work with the Starliner team as they will in space to perform many critical in-cabin operations.
Dragon, SpaceX, go for launch.
Commercial Crew accomplished another first in March with the launch of a United Arab Emirates, or UAE, astronaut on Crew 6.
Okay, go Dragon, go Falcon.
Expanding CCP service to the international community even further. Shortly after Crew 6's arrival, Crew 5 undocked from the station and splashed down in the Gulf of Mexico, ending their 157 days in space. Carrying NASA astronaut Jasmine Moghbeli, ESA astronaut Andreas Mogensen, JAXA astronaut Satoshi Furukawa, and Roscosmos cosmonaut Konstantin Borisov, the Crew 7 mission lifted off on August 26 to mark the first Commercial Crew flight with 3 international partners. In September, after a brief handover with Crew 7, the astronauts of Crew 6 undocked from the space station and splashed down safely in the Atlantic Ocean after 186 days in space. In October, NASA and Boeing worked to complete the agency's verification and validation activities ahead of NASA's Boeing Crew Flight Test, or CFT, Starliner's first flight with astronauts. December marked 25 years since the first NASA module, Unity, arrived during assembly of the International Space Station. A quarter-century later, Commercial Crew program closes the year completing 2 long-duration crew missions and continuing preparations for a crewed flight test that will bring the U.S. closer to having 2 independent crew systems flying missions to and from the space station. Boeing ends the year with CFT mission certification products over 98% complete. SpaceX is gearing up for Crew 8, the next crew rotation mission to the space station, and Crew 9 is set to launch in mid-year. In 2024, NASA's Commercial Crew program will continue leading the way toward a new era in human spaceflight, maximizing station utilization and highlighting the benefits of NASA's commercial model with American private industry.